Give it a few seconds before I commit to this. All right. Hey, y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and I'm live. I am not in Trenton, Georgia. I am in Sedona, Arizona. I've come out for a few days with Teresa. We've come on a little mini vacation, and I thought, well, I had a little bit of free time in the afternoon here, and I thought I'd go live and chat with you guys a little bit. So, I can talk about like the gear I brought out here to do my photography while on location. All right, let's see who joined in. But you got to say hi. But yeah, the gear of choice on this trip has been my Leica CL with the 28 millimeter Pentax. Well, this ain't even a Pentax. This is a super multi-coated Tacomer. It doesn't even have the Pentax moniker on it. It's sold. But I've ran this rig the whole time so far. I've got my SL2 with me, and I plan to run it. I do some long exposure stuff. I forgot my tripod, so I had to go buy one. Fortunately, there's a camera shop in Sedona called Rolly's Camera, like the Rolleiflex cameras, same style name. But yeah, I've just been walking around. Man, my nose started itching as soon as I came outside. But I've just been walking around doing snapshots with it, yeah, enjoying the days. We've done some hiking. We've done some interesting stuff. I've got some food photography where we went and done a dinner with some people, and the food was really well presented. So I decided to get some photos of that. Not much into food photography, but you know, I did it. Hey, Claire, how you doing? Let me get down here in my chat window. There we go. These streams go. Dang, my nose. Damn it. Here we go. But these streams going unannounced, and I just impromptu turn them on, kind of makes it hard for people to realize when I'm going to go live. I really don't have a schedule, and that's a problem. I don't know how to fix that. I just work with it best I can. So who all's here today? Trying to see. But I brought a camera bag of stuff with me, but I just haven't needed it yet. It's been raining until today. It's rained every day in the desert the whole time we've been here. And it just kind of figures, you know, it's the way it goes sometimes. But the rain let up last night sometime. I could hear it raining through the night. And this morning it was overcast with a really solid cloud cover. And at this point, the road's right over here behind you. But at this point, the clouds are starting to break up a little bit. It looks like there may be a condition forming to where I can get a nice, like, blue hour photo. I've got an image in mind, and if I can get the timing to work out, like I said, I went and got me a tripod, so I'll have one for my travel stuff. But if I can get down there in time and get the camera set up, I'm going to try to do a long exposure and get some light trails. There's a windy road. There's some really cool mountains. They should be lit by the setting sun. It should make for an epic photo. But this trip was kind of sprung on me at the last minute. I forgot that we were coming. You know, I literally was working in the machine shop all week last week, and I guess it was Friday evening or Saturday morning when we left, when I finally just grabbed all my stuff and got ready to go. But it's been actually running pretty good. Let's see. I don't know. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. The microphone shows that it's only got a little bit of bars. So, oh crap. Back. Stay on page. Cancel there. Whoops, sorry. I'm going to bring up the emojis. Oh, it's all display. I'm working on the computer, so I saw it earlier and I thought I had the microphone adjusted. Somebody give me a sound check. Tell me if the audio is coming in because it looks kind of weak on the screen. No, come on. Can't get myself worked out here. No. I can see the bars down at the bottom though. Somebody help me out. Maybe it's in preferences. I think it is. There it is. Sound. Now, input. All right. It shows I'm coming in strong on the mic. So, there's some bright sun for you. Wow. Yeah, there's the sun. We haven't really seen it in 3 or 4 days. It's working. Okay, good. Thanks. But it's muffled. Huh. Wonder why. I don't understand it. Thanks for letting me know. I'm on my notebook computer, so I'm not real sure. That's the video camera. I don't know where the microphone's actually at. And I think it's on this side in the speaker well somewhere. I bet that was loud. I don't have an external mic with me. I didn't have that functionality to work with. But yeah, I've been operating the whole weekend with just a single camera and lens. I got the CL with the 28 millimeter. That's kind of like a 40 mil on a full frame. It works really well for snapshots, and I've took a few impromptu handheld kind of landscape-ish photos with it. Wow, that's really bright. If I do that, you can see me. But I did. I brought a camera bag full of gear, and I have used practically none of it so far. Seems like one of these days I'll learn that I should only bring what I absolutely need. I always want to carry redundant equipment. You know, I get out here, or I worry that I would get out here and that the camera I'm using would go down and I wouldn't have a spare. And then the odds of them breaking down is very... Yeah. Got my cigar and whiskey. It was loud. Okay. Good. So the mic is in that corner somewhere. Okay. There we go. Got something on my computer. But yeah, the input volume, if I do this, let's see. If I do that, that may add something to the sound level. Let's see. I turned up the input sensitivity on the mic. Maybe that'll help. There's Phil. Me and Phil have been chatting a little bit today. He's fell in love with photographing soccer games with that new Canon R6. Something about the hit rate being like 101%. You know, he gets all of his photos in focus, and then some of Ray's on his camera are pulled in by the R6. It's like it does sympathetic focus for the other cameras around it. I got to pick at him. That camera's been working so well. Let's see here. I got this little footstool ottoman thing. I came out here on the balcony thinking I'd get some good light, and now I'm so bright that you can't see. Not Sunday. Heat distortion from the field gave us both fits. Ooh. Yeah, the mirage coming off the grass, I bet, was messy that day. There we go. That'll help. Let that look at. Igor Bakov. Hey from Russia. How you doing? Thank you for logging in. But yeah, this has been a really interesting trip. We haven't really done a whole lot of anything in particular. like I said, we went on a couple of hikes. We did a dinner with some people. I'm going to try to do a sunset, well, more of a blue hour photo. I'm not going to try to photograph the sunset, mainly because I didn't bring any ND filters or graduated NDs to lay on the horizon. But what I've got is I've got some mountains that should be lit really well in blue hour, and I should be able to get a really cool long exposure, because we know how much I like long exposure photography. Hey, look, the cloud's saving me. Now it's diffused light again. Phil says, are you out there for climbing? Sorry I missed the first 5 minutes. Don't be sorry. I didn't warn you. It's not your fault you missed it. Okay. I'll bring y'all up to speed on another reason I'm streaming with this computer in just a second. I want to answer Phil's question first. No, we're not out here for climbing this time. We're out here just for a little kind of a getaway because of the stresses of the world back out east that we've been working with. Teresa just wanted basically some time away from it all. And this was just a little getaway is all it really was. But the reason I'm streaming on this computer, this is my 2015 MacBook Pro. And I've partitioned the hard drive, and I've put Linux Mint Cinnamon on a partition. So I have a dual boot computer now. I can boot it as a Mac or as a Linux machine. And right now it's a Linux machine. And I just figured out how to get the camera working on the Linux side. And I ain't going into all that, but suffice it to say that Linux Mint didn't recognize the webcam because of the way Apple wired it without going in and doing a little bit of manual driver building. And I had to learn how to do that. I've been messing with it, and I've got it working, so I was wanting to use it to do something, so I thought I'll use it on Livestream. And that's why I'm using my computer instead of my phone. If I had my phone, I'd be wearing my earplugs and that remote mic, and it would probably be a lot better audio. But yeah, the whole time, I think I've said this 2 or 3 times now, the whole time I've been out here, I've been shooting with this 28mm f3.5 on the Leica CL. That's like a 40 or a 42mm equivalent field of view. So it's like a great point and shoot kind of system that's real light and not heavy, and it's simple. It's easy to work with. I haven't got out any of my other stuff. I brought a bunch of stuff, but I haven't got any of it out to use. Not yet, at least. Hopefully tonight the SL2 will come into its own, and I'm going to do some long exposures with it. Wolftick says, we just had a short getaway ourselves. We did film a video, but we mainly just had some good father and son time. That's special. I don't have that luxury anymore. At least I consider it a luxury now. Because my father left this world in 2004, I think. And yeah, it would be nice to be able to do that. Yeah, I mean, it makes me happy to know that you and your son go do those things. Phil says, I'm going to try the lens on the ZFC. Oh, he's going to put this lens. He's got one of these as well. So if I take this lens head off, he's got this 28mm Tacomer. I don't know if yours is a Pentax Asahi or if yours is a Super Tacomer like mine. Yeah, I think it's the same exact lens. But these are really cool little lenses because they have, if you'll notice, get it where you can see it, the F8 marking is orange. Then you have the orange diamond, and then the 10-foot marker, which is 3 meters basically on the scale, is also orange. If you line those 3 up, it becomes a point and shoot camera. Everything basically from about a little under 5 feet to infinity is basically in focus if you do that. So you don't even have to touch the focus or the aperture. You just make sure that your shutter speed's high enough to keep your ISO from bottoming out and overexposing. And you just take pictures. If you're shooting snapshots, you just take the photos. And it works really well for that. So he bought one. And now he's been messing with me, talking about he wants to get out and work around learning how to line up the orange dots. He says it's a great lens for lawnmower time lapses too. You're welcome. Yeah. Me and Sierra have y'all make videos together. I don't do that with Sierra, mainly because she's not really into what I do. It's just not her kind of jam, I guess you'd say. But we do have a father-daughter breakfast at least once a week if it's any way possible. We don't skip it if at all possible. We missed it this week because me and Teresa were in Arizona. But for the most part, we get that. We have that every week if we can. I'm curious to see how that ZFC runs with that 28 mil. It will probably shoot a lot like this one, but this is a 24 megapixel camera. This one, I like it, and I don't at the same time. It's got the batteries that these ain't super bad expensive like the SL2 batteries. You can actually, if you buy the Leica ones like this particular one, I think this is the one that came with the camera. These are kind of pricey. They're like $80 a piece, but you can literally buy the Panasonic Lumix. It's the same battery, just with different writing on it. And you can get them for like two for $30. And then you can buy I bought some, they're not gray market, well, they're third party. I got two batteries and a charger for like $20, and they work perfectly. Since they're a Panasonic footprint battery, they're not hard to come by. But like that SL2, it's a different creature. But yeah, I have like 5 of these, so I got plenty of these batteries. They hold up pretty well though. So far, I have only run down one in a whole day on any day, and sometimes I'll forget and leave the camera on. Leica puts them into like sleep mode after so many minutes. You can go in there and adjust it to where it goes into standby mode after so much time. But I think it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes I've got mine set. That way it doesn't just go to sleep constantly. Adrian, what's up? Hey, Adrian, how you doing? I'm in Arizona. We're up in Sedona. We're out here for just a little quick getaway weekend. How far is that to Sonora? I need to look that up and see. It may not be that far. Phil and Wolf Dick are chatting. Jim Worthington. Hey, how you doing, Jim? I'm reading the comments. Cheers, David. Heading to an early dinner, so I can't stay. You sure do get around. Travel has been a lot busier here lately. It's 6 hours from my house. Wow, that's not far at all. Next time we're in Arizona, we'll have to figure out, we'll have to bring our passports with us. That way we can dip our toe across the border. I was making sure I didn't miss any comments. I try to read them. They're over here, like right up through here on my screen. Come by, David. I want to. I really do. Like do some street photography, or maybe some long exposure, low light stuff. I've really something. There's a subject that I can actually discuss. I spent the last year and a half, 2 years maybe, trying to figure out what kind of photography I really like. And I've come to realize that I am not a one-trick pony, as they say. I don't like just one style. And me and Phil are really similar in this respect. We both like 2 or 3 genres. And, you'll never master any one of them if you do that, but does it really matter? if you're just enjoying yourself. So I don't think it does. What I think matters is that you do what you love. If you love to shoot photos, shoot photos. It doesn't matter what you're photographing, just enjoy doing it. I mean, hold on. You're gonna freak out. There's a big smudge right over the camera there. That fixed that. Yes. Are you Heisenberg? Not sure what Heisenberg is, honestly. I would have to look that up. I apologize. I don't know. Phil says, great point. Geico tab. Yeah, get your camera out and take a picture with it. That's exactly right. The styles that I have really come to love to do are, I like street photography, but it's getting to where I'm getting picky. And if the photo doesn't have like enough interesting elements in it, I'll take the photos a lot of times just for the practice of it. But I've gotten to where the only time I share them is in lens reviews a lot of times, because you want to see different like scenarios that the lens is put in to see if it performs in direct sun or shade, close up, far away. So I'll typically just sprinkle a lot of photos in those videos for that. But when I'm doing my own street projects now, I typically, if I come home with one good one, I've had a good day. And I've gotten really picky with that. I will take a lot of photos, but at the end of the day, there won't be many that I'll really put in that folder that I'm working towards a project with. Now, so that is one. And I'm always looking for an interesting like gesture or something going on, or maybe there's a juxtaposition. I'm always looking for that. That's something I'm constantly after. But I really like panning blurs or motion blur photos of any kind. I really like, because when you have a portion of the frame that's frozen and sharp, and then something in the frame that's blurred in movement, it gives the photo life, in my opinion. It makes it seem like there's actual movement in a still two-dimensional image. And I really enjoy trying to capture that and add that to the frame, because it seems to add something to the photo if you can do it. Plus, it's not something you normally see with the human eye. So, it kind of allows you to step into that realm of not fiction. You're stepping out of reality slightly with it. You can bend reality somewhat with motion blur. And that's another thing. And the next one that I like is low light and long exposure in low light. Typically, you'll see 1 to 30 seconds. I try not to go much over 30 seconds for a couple of reasons. One, most of the time I have high exposure noise reduction engaged. So, if you do a 2-minute exposure, it opens the frame on it takes an exposure with the shutter closed for 2 minutes to get that ISO noise reading so it can do that noise reduction math. And, that's, I'm seeing the stuff coming through on the, on the stream or on the chat over here. It's funny. But I've gotten to where I really like to do night photos and capturing, and photographing light trails, stopping the lens way down so you get a lot of light stars in the frame. And, with the more modern glass, the light stars ain't as prominent because that's a diffraction problem, is why you get those light stars. And with the older glass, the diffraction is good and gives you the star, gives you nice, crisp, pointed stars. But with modern lenses, you'll notice a lot of times it'll just be a round ball of light because they fixed that diffraction problem. They've used computers to re-engineer the lens and gotten rid of those issues most of the time. And So you can only get those kind of images with old-timey lenses. You know, you got to have the vintage glass to get that. So it's another tool, or not really a tool in the toolbox, but a way of employing my vintage glass that I really like. I really like that effect. So I've gotten to where I've focused more on shooting at night and doing long exposures and setting up on tripods, or propping it. Like I'll set my camera down on the sidewalk and I'll get my little Leatherman out and I'll prop it under the lens to get the elevation. You can scoot it back and forth under the lens to elevate the camera, and I'll set it down and then set the timer, start it, and then just keep the camera still and let it do like a 3 or 4 second exposure from really down low, or set it on a trash can or a handrail or a park bench, anything to where I can get the camera level and stable. And you learn to stack quarters under one corner to level it, so you don't have to carry a tripod all the time. It kind of lets you beat the system somewhat. Now, sometimes you just need a tripod. It just works better if you have one, but sometimes you don't, and you can get away without it. Let's see. Jim says, make photographs for yourself. Someone else will like them. Good point. H is a character from Breaking Bad. Yeah. I've been told I look like a guy named Walter. Pan and Blur's rule. Hi, Hazan. Don Hazlitt says, learned something new on why my camera takes so long between shots. I was taking star shots up on Roan Mountain this past weekend. Interesting. So you was it because you had long exposure noise reduction engaged? Because it closes the shutter for the exposure and then takes a exposure of a dark frame, as they call it, equal in time, so it can build that ISO noise file, so it can actually subtract it from the image. And that's pretty cool how they figured out how to do that. Phil says the new Canon lenses have rounded aperture blades at larger apertures that become angular at small apertures specifically for light stars. So they've actually decided to add the feature back on purpose. That's pretty smart. Wolf Tick says, I like my Nikon 24-85 f3.5 to 4.5 for sun stars. Sweet. That's a pretty sweet lens, dude. Igor asks, do you still use your Z50 for video, and how is it? Yes, I have 2 cameras currently in my toolbox of video equipment, and one is the Nikon Z50 with the 10 to 20 millimeter wide angle DX lens. That's the primary video camera that you're talking about, and yes, I use it, and I use it regularly. Works great for that. That camera serves a second role for me, which is wildlife photography. I'll put the 500 millimeter phase Fresnel on it with a F to Z adapter, and I ain't gonna say it's the perfect wildlife camera because the focus isn't really wildlife photography level focus, but it's really good, and I enjoy using it because it's light. It's small and light. The whole package isn't really big and bulky that way. So I like using that. But I do use it regularly. And then my other video camera is the little DJI Osmo Action. It's kind of like a GoPro, but made by DJI. It has really good video, and its rock steady stabilization is uncanny good. If I'm walking around vlogging, I would rather have that. I mean, the Z50 is great for static shots, or, where you're doing maybe panning shots or getting B-roll. Or you're doing the static talking to the camera stuff. But that DJI Osmo Action is amazing if you're wanting to be in motion while you're talking to the camera or filming something while you're moving. It's just crazy good. There. Heisenberg and Walter White are the same character from Breaking Bad. Okay, now I get it. Okay. Yeah. I think that's me. I've seen a little bit of cut scenes here and there on YouTube of that show, and that guy went to the dark side, dude. To go from what I think he was a science teacher to meth cook to like drug lord, ruthless drug lord before it was over said and done. Yeah, he went over to the dark side of the force. Yep. Take the Z50 and 500 to Animal Kingdom. Hey, yeah. Supposedly, there's going to be a meetup there next year. There's a certain YouTuber that might be having an unofficial meetup at Disney's Animal Kingdom. If you follow my videos very much, you might want to go follow a couple of other YouTubers that I like to keep in a small, close circle together, like Phil Thatch and Adrian Alfred, and figure out which one is going to be at Disney World and might be having a meetup unofficially. I won't plug it much more, Phil. But really, yeah, that I didn't take it last time, and I should have. What did I take? I don't even remember what camera I did take. I think I took the D810. No, I didn't take anything in last time because they was high on COVID stuff. You know, the rules for COVID were really strict, and it was a real headache already dealing with all the coronavirus problems that they were trying to mitigate. So I just left it in the car, and we went and rode the thing in Pandora. The flying one where you're riding the flying dragon thing. We did that, and then we went and rode we kind of did what you did in your video, except we didn't ride the Kilimanjaro roller coaster. We did the safari one, and then we went through that little thing right beside it where the bird aviarium is. We did that. It was pretty cool. But we was only there a few hours. We didn't get to stay all day. Man, it's already been 32 minutes. Man, time goes by fast on these live streams. It's crazy fast. If you haven't done it yet, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. The thumbs up seem to make a big difference for some reason. I ain't really figured out why, but it seems to. We almost got up to 28 the other day. If we'd have got up to 28, I was going to commit to buying that new 28 millimeter Nikon lens that fits the Z50. Oh man, we've done jumped to 8 that quick. You guys might be about to commit me to that lens again. I found it. They're out there. That lens ain't very expensive. I was kind of surprised at how cheap that 28 millimeter retro lens for the Z50 ZFC family of cameras is. It's only like $300. It wasn't super expensive. I guess because it's a DX lens or an APS-C lens. Oh, it's a full frame. Oh, so it ain't a DX lens. Phil says it fits a Z6, and that it's a full frame lens. Huh. So is that 40 mil a full frame? Because they just came out with it too. I noticed a lot of people are talking about the 40. Phil says if you order one, I will too. Oh. What I need to do is see if Bedford camera has one. Yeah, it's full frame as well. Okay. I haven't been watching the videos on them. I've been working on other stuff, so I haven't been watching them. Oh, okay. I ain't gonna be able to order it right now. I guess I'm ordering one. Let's see here. Let's do it this way. There. It's in the chat now. That'll actually give me a reason to get my Z6 out. Currently, the Z6 is my thumbnail photographing camera. It's set up with the 105 millimeter macro lens. It's an old manual focus macro, and I've got it set up to where I tripod it, dial it in, get the exposure like I want. Typically, I shoot it with strobes, and I shoot my thumbnails. Like the last 2 or 3 thumbnails, maybe 4 of the lens review thumbnails were shot with that old 105 f4 macro on the Z6, and 1 or 2 of my recent thumbnails was shot with the CL with a vintage Russian Industar for a 50 millimeter f3.5, little tiny thing. Review inbound on that one. Gas Live. Good one, Claire. We need to buy out all of Nikon's stock on those lenses. Everybody in the chat needs to order one. Eric Hassan says, "Oh my God, I was just thinking that David looks like Walter White from Breaking Bad. I'll leave for a second and come back and find all of this." He cut his goatee a lot thinner, I noticed. He keeps his trimmed a lot better than I do. What's this? I done turned something on. Oh, there. Get rid of that. I had a document viewer open. I accidentally engaged that for some reason. This whole Linux experience is new. It's kind of fun, but it's just a different operating system. You learn to do a lot of stuff through command line. Ray Soldano has joined the chat. Work made him miss the start. Fortunately, you can always go back. Uh-oh. Look at this, guys. Live. Her live streaming the police. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Fro did a review of the ZFC. He didn't even change the autofocus mode and still crapped on the autofocus. Oh, well, that's because it's Fro and it's not a Sony. I haven't even watched any of his videos in a while. Ray needs one. That way me, Ray, and Phil can go downtown with our Z6s and our 28 millimeters and shoot street photography. That should be a thing, Phil and Ray. This will be like the first autofocus lens I've bought in a long time. Come to think of it. So the last one was the Z50 and 11 to 20 mil. Yeah, I haven't bought an autofocus lens in that long. I can't, let's see here, the last lens I bought, I guess, was that new 50 millimeter Summicron after I broke the other one in Costa Rica. Yeah. I haven't bought any lenses in quite some time. I've had a bunch on the back burner that I've been meaning to review, and then I had Well, I did get that in the store. I got to take that back, but it was like $29. It was very cheap. The but Grant Govro sent me a box full of lenses, and that 85 that I just did the review on, that was his lens. It's going home to him, unfortunately. I really need to start hunting me one of those. That lens was beautiful. The rendering on that thing was incredible. But Ray says, I think we should all use something we don't normally use. No zooms for Phil or me, and you have to use the 70 to 200. Yeah. That'd be tough. I don't know. That's 75 is about like a 50 on this. So. Oh, come on, dude. Move the police car out of the way so the people can get in the parking lot. Yeah, he got by him. Phil's done ordered his. He's done beat me to it. He said Murphy has them. Okay. I'll check Murphy after this is over. I'll get that in operation. Get that mission moving. Hey, there's something we could do right now. We could all three take our Z6s and our 70 to 200s and shoot street because we all three have that setup. Wolfdick says if that certain meetup that's not really a meetup happens in January, maybe the new 28 millimeter should be the secret sign. That way you know that they're in the group. Yeah, I think it is, and it's like $300, Phil. I want to say I looked, and that's all it was like $295. They weren't very expensive. $299 from Murphy's. Yeah, they won't have them long. I guarantee you, they don't have many of them. Yeah, they probably only have one or two more. So I'll wind up getting mine from Bedford. You better act fast, Hassan. Like I said, as soon as I get off the stream, I have to get my phone out and get mine coming. We done pulled the trigger on this mission. We gotta follow through with it. If you've already got one coming from Nikon, just let it roll in. I mean, you're guaranteed to get a U.S. lens. They know you. It's the warranty's following you automatically. It's kind of a good deal if you've already got it ordered from Nikon USA. I'd just let that ride. That's just me. But yeah. We're 44 minutes in. I gotta shut this stream down in about 1 minute. I've only got about 45 minutes or so for my stream today. Teresa gave me a small block of time that I could play. We got a bunch of stuff. She's got an itinerary that she built, so we've got some stuff we've got to go do in a little while. But, dude, this is gonna be epic. So did Ray get one? He was asking the question. It's got me kind of curious. But yeah. Unfortunately, the aperture ring isn't an aperture ring. It's a look-alike, but it still looks good. But yeah, if you guys have anything that you want to talk about, shoot me an email. I'm more than happy to answer questions. If you'll leave comments on the videos, I try my best to answer all the comments, especially if there's questions in them. Maybe. There you go, Ray. We might just do that Chattanooga street photo shoot with the 28s from the sounds of things. I'll have to charge up the batteries for the Z6. I keep one hot just for thumbnail photos. but yeah, but like I said, if you have a question about something, either equipment related or process or whatever I use, then don't hesitate. You can shoot me an email at my Georgia Photog email address. It's in the description of the videos. I don't put it in the description of the live stream because I just don't think of it. But you can open up any video and find it. It's real easy. But the email's there. And if you like what I'm doing, I appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. It'd be cool. All that jazz. So until next time, this is David, the Georgia photographer, saying, get your camera out and go take a picture with it, all right? No matter what kind it is. Get your camera out and go take a picture with it. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. I have 6 batteries always charged. There. I'll drop some comments. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.